Stop. That image, the screaming witch in the flames, it's excellent cinema, but in most cases it's terrible history.
We all know the scene. For 300 years, thousands of women were dragged to the stake and burned alive for the crime of witchcraft. It is the ultimate symbol of medieval savagery, right?
Wrong. Take Salem, the most famous witch trial in history. Do you know how many people were burned there? 0. 19 were hanged. 1 was pressed to death with stones. None touched fire. It wasn't about mercy, it was about the law. In England, witchcraft was a felony, like robbery. The punishment for a felony was hanging. Burning was reserved for a worse crime, heresy.
For the vast majority of the estimated 50,000 victims, death came at the end of a rope. It was a cold, bureaucratic process, not a fiery spectacle. Burning was also expensive. You needed tons of dry wood and pitch. A length of rope was cheap and reusable. Local councils preferred the budget option.
Even in places that did burn witches, like Germany, they often strangled the victim first as an act of mercy. Being burned alive and conscious was actually rare.
In England, women were burned, but usually not for witchcraft. They were burned for petty treason, like killing their husbands. Witchcraft alone didn't warrant the flames.
They didn't need fire to be cruel. The most common torture wasn't physical pain. It was sleep deprivation. After 3 days without sleep, people will confess to flying to the moon just to be allowed to rest.
They used ordeals like the swimming test. If you sank, you were innocent and probably drowned. If you floated, the pure water was rejecting you and you were guilty. It was a no-win situation.
The real terror wasn't the execution method. It was the paranoia. Neighbors turning on neighbors. The system itself was the torture device.
So why do we remember the fire? Because fire is dramatic. It's cinematic. A quiet hanging on a rainy Tuesday doesn't sell movie tickets.
It doesn't matter if they died by fire or by rope. The tragedy is that they died at all. Victims of mass hysteria and a legal system gone mad.